Little Miss Sunshine brings a smile. It was a snowy morning in Misterland, and everyone was very cold and miserable. Oh! Everyone, that is, except for one particular person.
Lots of cheering up to do today.
Little Miss Sunshine hurried downstairs to meet the postman.
Good morning, Mr. Stamp.
Oh, good morning, Miss... Oh!
Never mind. It'll soon be spring and nice and warm again.
It will, Miss Sunshine. Soon be spring and nice and warm again. The next person Little Miss Sunshine met was Mr. Worry. What happens if the snow never melts? What happens if it snows some more? I'll never get out of my house again.
Don't worry, Mr. Worry. Use this.
Good idea, Miss Sunshine. Whee! Wait a minute. What happens if the snow melts? If the snow melts, it'll flood my house and ruin my food.
If your house floods, Mr. Greedy, you'll be fishing in the kitchen and have fish and chips forever.
Ooh, fish and chips. Ooh, yummy, yummy. Ooh, my favourite.
Oh, dear. Look at my splendid hat.
She told Miss Splendid that her hat wasn't ruined and that icicles suited her. She told Miss Neat that there was no need to iron the snow. It would flatten itself. By lunchtime, Little Miss Sunshine had cheered up so many people that she was tired out.
Phew! I'm only halfway through the day. I'm going to need some help, I think. Mr. Tickle! Cooey! Mr. Tickle!
Go away. I'm not tickling anyone today.
Please, Mr. Tickle, I need your help.
So he let her in. She told him her plan. And the next thing Mr. Tickle knew, he was sitting on the roof of his house.
Down by the bus stop, Mr. Tickle.
Down by the bus stop, Miss Sunshine.
Cheer up! It's only a bit of silly old snow.
Of course it is. Just a bit of silly old snow.
Mine, Mrs. Simpkins.
Not Mr. Crabtree.
Just a bit of silly old snow.
And for the rest of the afternoon, Little Miss Sunshine and Mr. Tickle sat on the roof cheering everyone up. Sorry, Miss Bossy.
Don't mention it, Mr. Strong. I'm having a lovely day, thanks to Miss Sunshine's idea. Stand still. I want you all to do exactly as I say and stand still.
You're right, Miss Sunshine. Bumping in the snow doesn't hurt at all.
Good idea, Miss Sunshine.
Oh, when were you supposed to be there, Miss Nate?
No,
never mind. Just hold on tight.
about an hour ago, I think.
And by the end of the afternoon, what had started as a cold and miserable day ended as one of the best that anyone in Misterland could remember. And it was all thanks to Little Miss Sunshine. Not forgetting Mr. Tickle, of course. Just a bit of silly old snow, Miss Sunshine. A very happy day for Mr. Happy. Some people don't like getting out of bed early in the morning. They would much rather turn over and go back to sleep. But not Mr. Happy. What a lovely day! I'm not going to waste it lying in bed. Come on, wake up, sleepyhead. Everyone greeted Mr. Happy with a big smile. Everyone except Miss Greedy. She wasn't happy. Good morning, Miss Greedy. What a lovely day.
No, it isn't. The cake shop has run out of cream buns.
It's really too bad about Miss Greedy, but I'm sure everyone else in Misterland is happy. Everyone except Mr. Jelly. Isn't it a lovely day, Mr. Jelly? No, it's an awful day. I looked in the mirror this morning. Ooh. But, Mr. Jelly, that was only your reflection in the mirror. Doesn't matter whose reflection it was. That was very scary. I'm still shaking like a jelly. What's happened to Misterland? On a lovely summer day like this, everyone should be bright and cheerful. Good day, Miss Neat. What a charming hat.
Never mind my hat. It is not a good day. Mr. Messy visited me last night and now my house is a mess. As you know, Mr. Happy, when my house isn't neat and tidy, I am not a happy person.
And neither was Mr. Happy, because this day, which had started out so well, was becoming quite a sad day. By lunchtime, Mr. Happy was feeling just a little unhappy. No, not just a little. He was feeling very unhappy. And before long, everyone in Misterland knew Mr. Happy was very sad. We must do something for our friend.
Leave it to me. I know just the person to help us. Dr. Make You Well. We're all very fond of Mr. Happy and can't bear seeing him so unhappy. What can we do?
This prescription will solve your problem, Mr. Small.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. I'll take it to Mr. Happy right now.
Oh, no, Mr. Small. This prescription is not for Mr. Happy. It's for all his friends.
It's Mr. Happy who needs help, but Dr. Make You Well's prescription is for all of us. We must follow these instructions exactly.
Next morning, the sun was shining, the birds were singing, but poor Mr. Happy, he was as sad as ever.
Hello, Mr. Happy. I've brought you some buns.
Hello, Mr. Happy. How about you and me going fishing?
It took no time at all to get my house neat and tidy again, so I've come to make your house neat for you.
Dr. Make You Well told us how to cure your sadness. A smile and a friendly greeting are the only medicines Mr. Happy needs.
Have a lovely day, Mr. Happy.
Have an extremely splendid day.
And so, surrounded by his many good friends and cheered by their greeting, Mr. Happy smiled a little more. Then he chuckled, and then he laughed out loud. Mr. Happy was having a very happy day indeed. Mr. Strong makes a big splash. As everyone knows, Mr. Strong is the strongest man in the world. Even Mr. Uppity, who hardly ever had a good word for anyone, was glad Mr. Strong was around when his new hat blew off. But lately, Mr. Strong has been worried. And do you know why? Because he's too strong. For example, when Farmer Fields wanted someone to paint his barn, he called Mr. Strong.
You will be careful now, won't you? It took me months to build this barn. Don't you worry, Farmer Fields. I'll be ever so careful. Sorry.
Farmer Fields wasn't very pleased. Mr. Strong looked through the newspaper for another job.
A car washing job at Mr. Wrench's garage. Oh, yes, I can do that.
Ready with the sponge, Mr. Strong?
Ready, Mr. Wrench.
Mr. Strong liked his new job. Every car that came into his car wash was going to come out clean and sparkling.
Oh, dear.
So once again, Mr. Strong was looking for another job.
Listen to this. Clever computer operator needed immediately. Oh, yes, I'd like that.
No problem here. Mr. Strong's nimble fingers skipped along the keyboard. And then,
Oh, dear. My fingers are so powerful, I've destroyed the computer.
poor Mr. Strong.
Zookeeper needs assistant. Inquire within. Oh, that's it. The perfect job for me. I love animals. This should be fun.
A rather unfortunate beginning, Mr. Strong. Most people just open a door, they don't break it. But accidents do happen, and I won't hold it against you. A strong person like you could be very useful. You can start
yes.
Monday morning.
And so, early Monday morning, Mr. Strong swept the floor of the monkey house.
Sorry.
On Tuesday, he brought the panda its favorite food, bamboo shoots.
A single to China, please.
Sorry.
On Wednesday, Mrs. Cage moved Mr. Strong to the kitchen. He can't do any damage there, thought Mrs. Cage.
Sorry.
On Thursday, Mr. Strong sold ice cream cones, but not for long.
Sorry.
On Friday, Mr. Strong enjoyed a short ride on a tractor.
Oh, what's going on? Oh! Whoops.
I really don't want you to leave, Mr. Strong. If only I could find the right job for you.
Oh, yes.
There is one, however, that requires enormous strength.
You'll never guess what that job was.
Don't cry. I'll be right back. He's never happy at bath time unless he has his favorite toy for company.
Well done, Mr. Strong. I'm so pleased. I want you to come to the zoo every Saturday and bathe the whole elephant family. And next time, don't forget the duck.
Little Miss Late finally catches up.
Good morning, world.
Said Little Miss Late, who had just woken up.
Ooh, time for breakfast, I think.
This is the lunchtime news.
Lunchtime already?
And here is an important newsflash. The first 6 people to arrive at the Big Town Big Store will get all their shopping free.
Oh, my goodness, I must hurry. Now, let's see, what shall I do? I know, I'll have a bath. Ba-de-do. Oh, goodness, I must hurry.
And then she dried her hair.
Boo, 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 da-dum, bum, bum.
And then she made her bed.
There, all tidy for when I come home.
And at last she was ready to leave.
Who knows? I might even be the first.
But by the time Little Miss Late reached the big store, the first 6 people were already leaving with their free shopping. First, of course, was Little Miss Greedy.
Hello, Miss Late. Look what I've got. A free supper.
Then came Mr. Rush with nothing at all. I've been around 5 times and eaten it all. Hey, Must Rush, bye. Then came Mr. Skinny with a whole month's food. 2 crisps, 4 peas, and a piece of chocolate. Oh, yummy. Then came Little Miss Scatterbrain.
Everything's free in there. Isn't that nice of them? Especially for a shoe shop.
And lastly came Little Miss Shy, who hurried by in case anyone spoke to her. And then Little Miss Bossy arrived.
You're far too late, Miss Late, as usual.
Poor Little Miss Late. Not only was she not the first, the shop was shut, so she went home. The following day she received a letter.
A jumble sale with lots of bargains. 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock today. Don't be late. Ooh, that sounds good. Just time to brush my hair.
And after she'd done a few other things as well, she was ready to leave.
Who knows? I might even be the first and get all the bargains.
On the way, she met Mr. Clever.
Are you going to read all those books?
Read them, Miss Late. Good heavens, woman, I wrote them. And he began to tell her what they were about. Really, it's my life.
Really?
Sailing.
Oh,
Well, it's
fascinating. Oh, goodness me.
Sailing, hunting, shooting.
Oh,
I've done it all,
interesting. Really?
And no sooner had Mr. Clever gone than Mr. Chatterbox came round the corner.
Hello, Mr. Chatterbox.
Bless me if it isn't Miss Late. Well, of course it is. I can see it is. And even if it weren't, I'd still stop and have a little chat because having a chat makes the world go round. I mean, don't you think? I mean, I do. Well, not
what?
literally round. I mean, gravity has something to do with it, but you know what I mean. And even if you didn't, I mean, you'd... And he went on and on and on. Until finally, by the time she reached the jumble sale, Mr. Bean was locking up.
Oh, I'm not late again, am I?
Of course you are. You're late for everything. Anyway, I've had all the bargains myself. Goodbye. Little Miss Late was so fed up that she thought she'd give herself a treat.
I know, the cinema. But I expect I'm late and it's already finished.
Hello, Miss Late. You're nice and early.
Early? Am I? What for?
Well, tomorrow's film. The first person to arrive gets a free ticket. Here you are.
Thank you very much. Oh.
Mr. Noisy the Music Man. Mr. Tune was on his way to Mr. Noisy's house. In the back of his van were two very large boxes.
Mr. Noisy's neighbours are in for a big surprise, and I don't think they'll like it.
Ever since I was a small boy and spoke with a
Very small, very quiet voice.
there was something I wanted more than anything in the whole world. I wanted to play in a band. I'll help you unload the boxes, Mr. Tune. Goodbye, Mr. Tune. I wondered if he heard me.
At last, Mr. Noisy could hardly wait to open the boxes. Can you guess what was inside them? Yes, you're right. Mr. Noisy bought a set of drums, and they were just as loud and noisy as Mr. Noisy himself. Mr. Uppity was well known as a very rude man, and now he was going to be very rude indeed.
I am extremely angry, and so is everyone in Misterland. Why are you making this terrible noise? Noise? It's music, Mr. Uppity. I want to play in a band, but also I want to be a good neighbor. I'll send the drums back to Mr. Tune. Try to keep the noise down, Mr. Tune. We don't want to disturb the neighbors.
I'll do my best, Mr. Noisy.
Goodbye, Mr. Tune. Have a safe journey.
Mr. Noisy playing the electric guitar was even worse than Mr. Noisy playing drums.
I am furious, Mr. Noisy. How can I get my beauty sleep with you making that dreadful noise?
Dreadful noise? Oh, you mean my electric guitar? I'm practicing. I want to play in a band. I'm sorry, Miss Splendid. I'll find something quieter.
Well, I thought...
Oh, no. Mr. Noisy is at it again. If only someone could find a way of making him stop. Ah, here's Mr. Clever. He'll know what to do. Mr. Clever, I'm sure I speak for everyone in Misterland when I complain about Mr. Noisy. We don't get any sleep at night and have to listen to that awful racket all day. If only Mr. Noisy could find a nice, quiet musical instrument.
A quiet musical instrument. Then Mr. Clever had an idea.
What an idea. I'll phone Mr. Tune.
Yes, Mr. Clever. I'll bring one to Mr. Noisy right away.
Hello, Mr. Noisy. Mr. Clever here. I've thought of a way you can play in a band without disturbing your neighbours.
That's a wonderful idea, Mr. Clever. I'll start practicing as soon as Mr. Tune delivers it.
The next day there was quite a crowd at the outdoor concert. And all the Mr. Men and Little Misses were very happy with their new conductor, a conductor with a quiet musical instrument.